Test, test. Hello. I'm gonna open up the chat. All right, I'm gonna pull the chat onto the bottom. Oh, actually, I'm gonna keep it at the top. Oh, where are you? Oh, I lost the chat. I lost the chat. Hello, chat. Oh, there it is. Okay, pull it back out. Nice. Okay. Go to live chat. Can all of you hear me? I hope so. Let me open up some background music, which I will make. Which one? I'm gonna do this. Let's do this one. Check the stream's working. Oh, you can't hear the music. Whoops. Wait, no, I'm just gonna post about it and then we can get started. Make sure to mute Discord. There we go. Cool. Okay. My voice is kind of too quiet compared to the music. Oh wow, that's so interesting. So the music's very loud even though it's very quiet. That's full volume. Let me turn myself up a little bit. And then let me see if I can just listen to my voice. Okay. Is there anything on the mic? Let me check this real quick. Settings. Filters. Yep. This might not be... No, it's working. Okay. And you are totally broken. What the hell? How the hell did you spawn up there? How am I supposed to deal with that? What? Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, I didn't even load my preset. Duh. I think it's this. Okay, that's better. But there's like a ton of room. Noise. Are you not supposed to? Oh, I think that's better. Okay. Let me turn up my mic. Yeah. Okay. I think that's good. Still a bit roomy. So I'm gonna turn myself down. Even further? Like, how quiet? Like that? Is that better? All good now. Okay. Am I loud enough? Mono eco mode. Is that better? Or without the eco mode? I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, for some reason my streaming snappy preset reset. I think that's good. Cool. Okay. How are we doing today? Also, there's a completely different track playing in the background now. That's my bad. I didn't have it on loop. Let me figure out how to pin a window again. Hello, Busty. Hello, Mackie. Nucky. Colbert. Ona. The No Tunes. Junkrat Cake. DJ Awaken. How are y'all doing? Oh, I'm running through my... Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, perfect. Let's put the app then. Just closing everything I don't need. What I do need is the pin to top. And I need to know what the shortcut was. Windows Control T. There we go. Nice. Okay. Stream is warming up. How are we all doing on this Sunday? It's been a while. You got so much time to work on music now. That's great. It's always great to hear. Don't mind me, just an average viewer passing by. No worries. We're going to open up a special version of Bitwig today, because we're going to check something out, because I don't think we did that on the last stream. Hello, Reagan. Off work for the squad days. Nice. Great. Good question. For the people who are part of the Patreon, has anyone been using Silk yet? It might be my first Plug.up patch that I released with close to no bugs. Yeah, the newest beta. I hope it's not broken. I downloaded it today, so I hope it's better than, I think, beta 1 or 2 that I had on my system. Yeah, I'm gonna make some music today. We're gonna do that for sure. Yeah, version 4, beta 4. Yeah. Speaking of, I think we can get started with that stuff because it's very interesting. Where are the scenes? Over there. So let me close the YouTube stream. It's better. Okay, sweet. There we go. Let me turn on the media source. Not that one. Let's go with, yeah, let's go with this one. It's always a bit tricky with the ultra wide. I don't know what to show. Actually, wait, I do. I can just do this. Oh, that's full screen. I want it not full screen. I want it put over there. Extend it up until right around there. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And then I'm gonna make this, I guess we're gonna keep it like this, make it a little bit smaller. Is there a way to like control -1? Yeah, okay, I can barely read that though. Let me do this. Right, sweet. How's everyone doing? Of course there will be heavy monstrous spaces. Always. The automation seems to be less buggy, sweet. Yeah, I've only really used the regular, because, you know, the samplers, technically speaking, work in progress to some degree. I'm doing good. Yeah, there's been a lot happening on the plug data side of things. Lots of patches, lots of new ideas, and some fundamental discoveries that I'm very, very excited for. and also an entirely new sort of platform, I guess you could call it, that I'm very excited for. Well, two actually, which we'll go over as well in this stream. You don't use the free affinity? I do. I use it down here. Well, also, yeah, the affinity, the other one, the new one, right? I don't know what happened, but I pressed some button and all my UI disappeared. And I cannot get it back. And it was so frustrating. And I think it crashed a few times that I just continue using the Affinity Photo 2 version because it just works. Yeah, and I assume the free Affinity is eventually going to be made paid, like it usually is. Usually you'll have some subscription or some product that is supposed to be a subscription at the end of the day, launched as free, and then they make it paid all the time. It's the enshittification, right, of software. There's some genuinely good subscription software, but there's some that are, I think, I mean, look, Canva bought like Affinity or something. That I mean, they want their money back in some way. Yeah. Anyway, stuff. Yeah. But yeah. Speaking of things that you can buy and you can own, one of which is Bitwig. They are currently working on a beta where they have updated the sampler, and they've updated it significantly where it's the first one to offer a few features that other DAWs don't. And I think it's really important to talk about it, considering that this stream is also Bitwig themed. So I wanted to go over this for a while now, and I did post a short about it on YouTube and other socials, of course, which is the all new updated sampler. So if we drag in and let's do a monophonic sample. Let's do this one. Oh, I dragged it into the timeline, so that gives me a. Okay. So here we have it. I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can see this. What has changed? Well, you can see that the sampler now has a bunch of different modes. This entire section right here. And one of them specifically I'm very psyched about, which is the spectral mode. And they have basically made their own stretching algorithm, it seems. So they're not using Z-Plane's elastic, which is kind of like the industry standard that has been adapted across several DAWs and whatnot. But it's really cool to see their own novel approach to this, rather than just going to Z-Plane and getting a license for their own algorithm. Because having dabbled with FFT stuff myself, phases are the sort of black box of resynthesis, whereas magnitudes, that's the other part of the FFT that is kind of important, are a little bit easier to understand and a little bit easier to manipulate. The phases is where it's at, and I think they have managed a really good job at creating their own novel approach to this. Be honest, did you talk them into adding color-based mode to the sampler? I may have mentioned it, but when I talked to the Bitwig people again a few weeks ago, they said that they were already working on the sampler for a while. So I think they already had the idea for a while. And having actually managed to finally crack the polyphonic retuning kind of black box that, plugins like Retune and PitchMap I'm making use of. Maybe they have their own implementations of it. But having finally cracked how it works, I can see how this isn't supposed to be sort of walled behind some kind of plugin. It shouldn't be walled behind, sort of one plugin that does it for a decade or two. And I think that's also why Synaptic never, I think, created a patent for it, which is good on them. It's good on them for not doing that, because there are other companies that certainly do patent certain things. There are, for example, there was a patent for spectral editing. So like if you had a spectrogram and you wanted to add the magnitude to the frequencies inside of, a spectrogram, there was apparently some kind of company that licensed, that patented that, and then they made everyone else get licenses to just be able to do that. That's a whole rabbit hole you can look into. It's crazy. But I think the reason why this hasn't been patented is because once you understand how the phases of an FFT work, you realize that, okay, this is something that is inherent and kind of natural to the FFT. And the tricky part is just getting the phases to be frequencies and then interpolating them back into phases. But once you realize how to do that, this kind of approach is sort of more just a part of many other things that you can do. So it's great to see it actually finally being implemented in different places, right? So one would be obviously the sampler here, where actually I think it has one of the greatest applications, because you can do it, you can render it offline, so you can have it be higher quality and whatnot. But I also have a plug data patch, which is going to be Prism. It's going to be sort of the newer version of NPrism. It's going to be the big version that will include the polyphonic retuning using an FFT, because it is a wonderful piece of technology that allows you for very, very musical sound design sessions. Bigsound has a patent for what Suve is doing with the minimum phase filtering, and I'm pretty sure I could list you at least 10 plugins in violation of it, some of which I feel like are older than Suve. Oh, they have a patent for it. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think as well as, what's it called? Scalar EQ or whatnot has a patent for like filter shapes that like EQ parametric, like peak EQs that simulate minimum phase filter shapes, like biquad filter shapes. But they simulate them, and then instead they filter based on in or out of key frequencies. It's like chromatic, it's like if you went into and what is it? Pro Q4. If you went in here and you started adding a bunch of like 3 points, and I did this as an example, then I did this as an example, and then I did this as an example. I am now copying their I'm copying their patent, right? Because I have chromatically spaced peak filters resembling a bell curve, I guess, and then they can just patent it. There's always a question of, you can patent anything. Will it eventually hold true in a court is the case? And it depends on what the plugin companies do with it. Are they just doing it to defend themselves from a blatant copy? Or are they doing it to suppress an industry, which, for example, with the spectral editor, it just feels like it was going into that direction. But, I haven't been a part of that whole fiasco, so I don't know. Any of the actual plugin developers would have to speak out on it. But it just seemed very, very anti-innovation to gatekeep something as simple as, manipulating magnitudes on a spectrum graph. It's crazy to me that went through. But yeah, so anyways, rant aside, Bitwig's sampler now has different modes. They have fragments, which is kind of granular-like. If we play that, let's go a little bit lower. They have repitch, which self-explanatory, repitches the sample. Fragments is granular based, so you're going to have some interference between those grain pitches depending on their size and whatnot, which can be cool for sound design. You have textures, which I think was there previously already. Move the chat a little bit so you can actually see it. And then we have cycles, which is cool because I think cycles is based on the detected. Yeah, this one's really cool because it's based on the detected fundamental, And this is basically like phase modulation on a phaser, which we'll get into as well. I have a crazy plug data patch there that does some cool things there as well. And then we have spectral. And spectral is really cool because it does time stretching. So if we change the pitch, we can time stretch our sample. And not only that, but if we switch it from, oh, actually no, let's not switch it. If you turn on the enable formant processing, we get formant control. So that's really neat. You get a global shift amount. The only problem is that there's kind of like a link between enabling the shift percentage. It'll auto-track your register and shift the formant, which isn't always what you want. Sometimes you only want to shift the formant for specific nodes. So what I found is if you just turn up shift a little bit and then use the formant primarily, you can kind of formant shift it yourself. But what's really fun about this is you can go in and use something like key tracking. And if you put the formant to just the base, we can actually go in and change the formant for each of these nodes. So I can add a point here, maybe a point here. And I can change just how they sound. If I go up, and then the most fun part about this is if you want to kind of have a round robin feel, you can use random and apply that to the formant. So we're going to remove the key tracking here for now. And then we can just apply that here. And I think there's also, yeah, we want to set the random to, I think, hold, rate of 0. And then we want to enable bipolar and trigger note. So every time I press the same note, we get wildly different formants out of it. Let me actually change the zoom a little bit. I'm going to put it to 150. Let's play those 4 notes. J. Let's do that. And then we'll do maybe something like that. Stretch it out. Do that. No, oops. Do this again. And then we'll do. Let's do some higher notes. Nope. So now we can switch it up an octave. Let's add timeless. I hope my demo is still going. Yeah. This is going crazy right now. Let me just enable this. Let's do. bring in... Let's do a low pass. I wish the low pass in the Serum 2... oh, there's an update. Oh, I might update here in a second. I wish the low pass in the Serum 2 was actually like an offline process, and it would like apply to the wavetable, and we would actually like see it, and it would, because then it would also key track, but unfortunately it doesn't, which kind of sucks. Let me do. Maybe we'll stretch it, we'll see. Let's go to 150, sure. So now, if we increase the range of the randoms, we get like, almost like a very natural play. We can extend this effect by also maybe modulating the speed. And then having them ring out for longer. And now we're getting some nice stuff, right? And now we get to the magic part, which I'm gonna just quickly save this. Call it Bitwig 6 sampler. And I'm also gonna quickly update Serum, because I do wanna grab any new updates, because I am using Serum now quite a bit more than I used to. So let me quickly get this update. And I'm gonna turn off the audio graph or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to scene, enable the audio engine. And we should be on the newest version. Nice. So what we can do now is we're in, I guess, in this scale of C major, right? So what let's say we had a sample, let's say we had a melodic loop, a melody loop that was in D minor. So this wouldn't necessarily, oh yeah, let's even like stretch it. Actually, we would have to put it into the sampler. We're going to put down a C3 note. And so now we have this thing that we want to layer, right? Well, this wouldn't traditionally quite work. You'd need something like maybe like pitch map or retune. But not only that, we would also want to match the BPM. So what we can do is we can go to spectral. And I think this will also work for other modes. So the first thing is matching it to the BPM is pretty easy, if I remember correctly. It was this button right here, use project BPM. You click on that. And then the BPM is 100 did it detect 145? Let's see. Yes. Okay, but you can tell it's still out of key, right? So we're going to go to the spectral mode. And instead of using the pure mode, we're going to use the reharmonization mode. If we enable this, and it also says it, bends harmonic with tonal quantize option. So we're going to quantize it to the key of our scale, which is C major. So now we can change the input pitch. And then it sort of just works. My only gripe with this is that we cannot set a custom scale, so I cannot remove the one node that I don't like, which in this case would be... Let me actually check. If we load up Chroma, which node would it be? Let's go natural, major. Okay, so C, D, E, F. It's the F node that I don't want in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just load up ProQ, and I'm just going to get rid of all of the F nodes here. Can I actually copy and paste the node? I don't think, no, that's not possible. Where's the next F? It's right here. The next F is right here. The next F is right here. Next F is right here. The F is right here, and the F is right here. Then make these all into notch filters at 24 dBs. And this one's kind of wrong now. Let's put it 1. Actually, grab all of these, put them at 1. So now we're just excluding all the nodes I don't want. Actually, the sampler also has local scales now, you're saying. Does it? Is that new? Because I'm only seeing the option to shift towards the nearest in-key pitch. You're right, that is actually kind of different to what it was prior. But where would I set the scale? You know what I'm saying? I remember reading about it in some release notes. In the inspector or something. Oh, let me check. Use global key. You're right, we can change it. Nice. Double harmonic major. Okay, so we could use major pentatonic. Because I think the scale that we're using in Chroma is not actually like a real scale. It's sitting between a pentatonic and a natural. So that's still a gripe of mine, is that I cannot set my own scale in here. So we can only use pentatonic in this case, but that's still better. You're right. So let's go major pentatonic. So now I can just disable the ProQ. There we go. So what we can do now is we can, I think, cycle through different samples. So let's go to the next one. You can also use onsets, so it's kind of trying to preserve the transients. And if we go through and let's load up a different one here. We can change the quality of this as well. If we go to, if one of the things that we can do is change the phase dispersion. If you take this down, it's going to sound a little bit more like the original. But this is mostly when you're actually time stretching. So I think that's not really going to affect it much in this case. But we can turn up the quality of this. Now, one thing that you do have to know is that this this whole FFT stretcher and retuner is running real time. And you can sort of see that by these little peaks in the audio graph. If I change the quality to something like low, actually I might have to do this to be able to show this. I'm going to disable these strats. And I'm going to switch it from low to ultra. It's doable. Okay, maybe they improved it a little bit. But it used to have some pretty major spikes in there. And that would be the FFT is kind of recalculating. Oh, it was actually the live performance mode, maybe. No. The live performance mode adds latency if you disable it. So it's pre-calculating the first FFT frame, and then it's calculating the next ones from there on. But with the live performance mode, you're not using any, and it's kind of actually then in the live performance mode, it's pre-calculating. Without it, it's a bit different. So you can use the reharmonizer directly in the sampler, and there's a lot of really, really cool use cases. I wouldn't use anything too noisy yet because they don't have any formant and noise separation in this yet. So if we use something like, let's do, this has no, let me go over here. Let's do a spectral melody loop, which is just a bunch of sine waves. Let's enable these again. So now you're getting these options. Let's try maybe like a lead guitar. Now, what I'm going to show now is a little preview of a reharmonizer that I'm working on. So I'm going to reset the pitch. So I'm going to go put it in a nice before maybe. Disable it. Let's go minus one. Okay, off. So you can tell when we turn it off, some of the notes don't land in scale. What you will be able to use, hopefully very soon, is this guy. It is still very bare bones, and I think the scale actually here wouldn't match up because this is in D minor at the moment. Let me find it. So let me get rid of this. No, what I did? No, that's not what I want to do. 1 second. Now. Patch. Why did I do that? Let me open up this guy. Let me close it, and let me open up the other one. Was it this guy? I think so, yes. Okay, those two I can show. Okay. Then we go back to scene. So this is Prism 2, which sounds like this. This is in D minor though, so I'm going to have to actually probably create a C major one. Let me see if I can do that one quick. Because I know the notes, so that shouldn't be too difficult to do. C major. I need to calculate this real quick. Oh, no. Roma. So I can see the notes. It's basically okay. Okay, I can just type this in. Okay, nice. So let me do C major. I can show this part because that's no problem. Okay. So 0, is correct. Oh, no, yes, it is. And then C and C is correct. And then we have D and D. So 0. Oh, we started 0. 2. What? Wait. This isn't right. Yeah, okay. So C, 0, 2, and 2. Well, actually, that's 3 and 3. No, it's 2 because the one's 0. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we have 4 and 4. Then we have another 4. No, actually, we exclude 4. Right, we don't even use 4. 8, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's correct. 4, 4, and 4. Yep. Then 5, 6, 7. 7 and 7. 7, 7. That's correct. And we have 9 and 9. And then lastly, we have 11. Not 111. And then we're just going to change this to, that's not it. Where's the quantizer? C major. Send it. That's a huge button. Oh, wait, I haven't even sent it like this. Okay, here we go. I hope this is correct. Let's listen. Wait, we also have chroma on that. So let's compare that to a reharmonizer. Yeah, mine's more stereo at the moment. But now what we can do is we can pitch it around. And we can switch this to pure and use formant shifting again. So I'm going to just show you an example as to why a formant separation is important. If we load up, let's do like a bass loop, because with a bass loop, it's the clearest. And if any of the Bitwig devs are actually watching, this is a pretty good contender as to why you would want a separation between the two. I'm going to load up a bass pattern here. And actually, we're going to load it up in the Bitwig sampler. And let me see if this is the right one. No, let's do a different one. Let's do that one. That one's fun. I'm going to load one into here. We're going to disable the key tracking. Spectral, we're going to go to reharmonization, and we'll switch it to key. And let's quantize it to D minor. D pentatonic minor in this case. Where is it? Pentatonic. So that sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and load up Prism. And once again, I'm going to have to change the scale here real quick. So I'm going to move it back to a D minor, because I don't have any functionality for switching scales just yet. Because it's still in development phase. There we go. And then here we have basically all of the perfectly retuned notes in the spectrum. And then this formant split does spectrum envelope extraction and comparison, which we can then perfectly filter out the noise and the transients from the tonal and the sustains. Let's try loading a, actually I have a built-in pitch shifter, but that one's not the highest quality just yet. So I need to figure that out. Sort of this one, and it's going here as well. That's 33D. So we're just going to replace it here. So this is Prism. And then we have have Bitwigs. And this is the important bit that I can show on here, is that Bitwig doesn't really do any formant maybe does it a little bit, but there's very little of it. It's kind of struggling to differentiate, you know, noise from tonal. It is really good at retuning itself. And in my case, it sounds a bit weird because the left and right channel aren't synced in terms of the phases when they should be, if there's a more mono sound. But what mine does pretty good is preserving all of that detail on the actual sound. So if we go and load out something like elastic pitch, just for pitch shifting for now, because I'm obviously going to do my own. Let's go with something a little bit more, with more content. Let's label this guy. Nope, that's too noisy. Too noisy. Someone else? Sure. So these would just be the pure reharmonized frequencies. And then you can, kind of dial it in. Back to here. Disable key tracking. So if I disable the retuning, so there could be some improvements in terms of how to split noise from tonal. And yeah, it's really nice to have this directly in the sampler because it makes it very musical. You can just load in loops, you can load in single instruments. I think there was even a way to, what was it? Guitars. If you have a lead melody and you drag it in, you can basically flatten it. So if I click this root button right here, was it like that? I forgot. Was a button to flatten it, I remember. They change it? Sure. They must have changed it because it doesn't do it anymore the way it used to. Just click every button. Oh yeah, you just hit the, yeah. This is really interesting because it's trying to play the same note. So you could play like a chord. Which is pretty neat, depending on the sample you use. With guitar, it sounds a bit weird because there's a lot of movement happening in there. I don't have any bell loops or anything like that. Maybe I do actually. Let me check. Let's do this one, for example. Let's disable the format. So you're getting all the interesting movement from the sort of melody sample all of the articulation and the performance, but you stay on the same note. Which is really neat. And then if you slow it down, I only have like 1 octave to play here. But yeah, a really neat update to the sampler. There's so much more stuff you can do. They have a slice mode as well now, which is really neat. And what I personally enjoy is really these like turning single note samples into these very complex instruments. The last thing I have in the repitcher as well is a pre-pitch shift. So we switch it back to normal. We could do. About this kind of stuff is when you have it as a post effect, you can use things like frequency shifting. That's it. Or we could even create multiple voices on top of each other. So we could like do this, and then we'll pitch this up by, let's do 6 semitones. And just having this post effects, to me personally, makes sometimes more sense. So long, you're fine with the latency impact on the project. Prism 2 will use, how much was it? Like 96 milliseconds, so that's quite a bit. But it's kind of worth it for these kinds of situations. So let's do -6 maybe. Yes, we could also just do voice stacking, so we could just do. I just assumed I had the key tracking off. That's why I wanted to avoid that whole can of worms. And then without the prism. What's great about it as well is you can actually put it on the entire thing if you wanted to. It might be the wrong scale now because we copied it over. Then that might be the case. Let me check this real quick. I'll be right back. Might have switched it back to minor. Let me see. Or my scale is incorrect, which could also be the case. I'm not sure. Yeah, my scale is wrong. So my scale was wrong the whole time, I guess. Let me double check the let me double check the thing. Actually, you know what? Let's do it differently because I have the other one dialed in, so I'll just use that one. I'll use the D minor one because that one's dialed in already. Okay. So switch it to C again. We're in C major, which is A minor as a relative scale. So we need to go down. Where are these notes coming from? Oh, interesting. It's taking everything. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Taking everything, A minor. So we are at C, D, E, F, G, A. +1, +2, +3, +4, +5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put it to D minor. Now. Still not. Am I wrong? Oh, wait, that might be the note that's excluded from my special. From my special. Yeah, okay. Okay, fine. Fine. I'll put it into the multiband effects. Because I excluded the transition note. That also explains why it didn't work at C major. But now what I could do is I could go to the melody here. Let me lower the formant amount. And let's pitch it up quite a bit. Let's do like 7. Actually, let's go down because it seems like we're losing the notes. Got some pre-shifting from the effect, which is arguably a problem. The transient noise splitting does work quite well to kind of reduce it a little bit. And then what we could do, is move it down, is we can just add in anything else in here, and this is the really fun part about this kind of stuff. And I'm so excited that this is coming to all of you as an affordable piece. Is there another update for current as well? 1 second, I might have to update. Yes, there is. Software keeps updating. Okay, need to terminate the process, restart. Finish. Start the audio engine, and we should be on the newest version. This is so nice, just being able to do that so quickly. Okay, and now we can pick a nice current preset, and it'll run through the polyphonic retuner. So we're going to go ahead and go to presets, sequence. Let's go with maybe something ARP. Actually, maybe I'll just exclude the breeze from this whole thing, so we can just use this full. You know, it's bit. Let's try that one. And we might have to change the arpeggiator because it is playing. Oh, it's 1/8. Oh, we have that mapped to rate. Perfect. Let's bring down a note. So you can hear. I'm not sure if this is the current doing it. Let me check. Yeah, it's current doing it. Okay. Let's not lock it to a scale. Make it chromatic. Wait, can I just disable it? Am I crazy? What if I don't want to go through a scale? Am I crazy? What if I just want to go chromatic? With okay. There must be an option. Am I crazy? Is that the... No, see? That's why I want to change the arpeggiator speed. This is controlling room and choppy. This is controlling rate. There we go. So now we could go in and go to pitch. You have to probably dial in the range a little bit more. Let me see if I can just increase the range a little bit more. To 64. And maybe we can change it from up to down. There you go. And then, you know, add things like band splitting and stuff so you can decide which part of the spectrum you want this effect on and whatnot. So if I put it in, that's multi-band effects too. Thank you. I want the free one. Put it in here. Only downside right now as well is that the way the magnitude sorter works is it's taking the loudest frequency to pick as a candidate for the retuned notes, rather than stacking them, because I still have to figure out a way to make that work without, you know, blowing up your speakers. But yeah, this is really fun, and it's great to have a tool like that directly built into the sampler. I just wish, or I hope for future updates that they include a formant, sort of a, you know, tonal to noise to, yeah, noise to signal to noise ratio, basically. So one can kind of dial in between. So that's the Bitwig sampler. Let's move on to the regular version, because I'm not sure how stable this one is. Close this up. Open up regular Bitwig. There we go. Okay. So, what's next? Um, I'm gonna have a question for y'all. Have y'all messed around with, or have y'all heard of a tool called 6.1 is pretty stable, but because there's no UI change, it doesn't crash like 6. Sometimes it does something, sometimes take down the audio engine. Yeah, that's okay. So that still happens. Yeah, that was one of the main reasons why I switched back. Like the whole cotton doll crashing doesn't seem to happen at all anymore, which is nice. It's a thing of the past with Bitwig, which is really nice. Have any of you heard of a tool called Mesh? MSH is the question. Yes, yeah, never. Right? I had not until I saw your tweet. It's basically Patcher, right? Sort of, yes. Thanks to Basti. Sweet. No. Yeah, I'm trying to see how far the word has spread since launch. So to everyone watching, please feel free to uh, respond in the live chat if you've heard of Mesh so far. First time I'm hearing it. Okay, sweet. Yes, but more power. I have, but I can't try it yet. Yeah. I've heard it 3.4 times now, or 3 to 4 times. Because 3.4 times is interesting. That's an interesting way to put it. Like Patch on steroids. Although a free demo is coming at some stage. Yes, that is true. Yeah, with the combined with the price tag, you'd kind of want to like have a demo to try it out. 3.4 times. All right, I see. Well, so without making this into a rant about something else, I recently moved to Bitwig, right? So I moved to Bitwig, I think the beginning of this year. I moved away from Ableton to Bitwig, and actually around 10 years ago, I moved from FL Studio to Ableton. Funnily enough, so I was rocking Ableton Live for approximately 10 years, for a whole decade before I switched to Bitwig. And before that, I was rocking FL Studio for, I think, 3 years or something like that, 3 or 4 years. Um, and one of the things that I'm regretting, or that I'm not regretting it because I'm very happy with Bitwig, but one of the things that I dislike the most about moving um, was the fact that I have projects um, in Ableton that I really want to port, but it would be impossible to port all of the effects chains and whatnot that I have in there. It would just take so much time. So with looking at Mesh, Mesh is a VST host. It's a VST in itself that hosts other VSTs, and it's doing this to kind of unify your plugin library into one environment that is DAW agnostic. That is kind of the whole point. And on top of that, it is node based, so it's similar to Patcher. And the workflow is quite nice because you can kind of freeform your DSP chain or your FX chain or whatnot. But it is also built on Rust, and it also has its own audio graph, its own like its own framework, etc. So it is very much on the forefront of performance and trying its hardest to be as easy to use and as light to use as possible. And it's kind of built on the same principles as with Bitwig, right? Which is performance first. And while I see myself continuing to use Bitwig, having had the experience of moving and effectively losing out on a ton of old projects because they would just be too much of a nuisance to port. And yes, I have tried the opening it up in Bitwig. That was a nightmare. Did not work correctly. If I would have if I had Mesh and had used Mesh in all of those Ableton projects, it would have been significantly easier to port things. Because when you create something in Mesh, you can save it as a preset and you can load it in any other mesh, which is huge. So this right here is Mesh. This is Mesh. And what you can see over here is that it exists as an instrument, and it also exists as a effects instance. So you can use Mesh as an instrument and as an effect. Right now, we're just going to use it as an instrument, right? As a sound source. So the way Mesh works is that you get this environment where you can place nodes. So you can double click or right click to open up the browser. And I can actually zoom in a little bit here. You can zoom in on this side. I'll make it a little bit bigger and easier to see for people. Zoom in one more time. I'm going to grab these two and move them a little bit closer. I can open up this plugin browser, and it'll include a bunch of native mesh devices and effects and whatnot. But it'll also include my entire VST3 library. So everything over here I can use. If I were to go to my favorites, which I have already kind of colored the same way I colored it in Bitwig, so I have my oscillators, my effects, and kilohertz plugins. I have my oscillators, my effects, and kilohertz plugins, even though I haven't added all the kilohertz plugins because I tend to just use Snapheap. I can just load all of these in as I wish. So if I loaded up 02, I would load it up like this, and then I would get this node, which gets a connection from Median right here, plugged into Serum, and then Serum goes out to audio. And if I click this little button or I double click on the picture, I can open up the instance. And if I play some notes, enable these guys. It all just works. I can then close it and then continue on with my day. So if after Serum, as an example, I wanted to use some effects, I can totally do that. I can just double click onto the line or right click in here and hit insert node, even though double clicking is arguably easier. I can, for example, pick something like Snapheap, and then it'll load up Snapheap over here. It'll also take a screenshot of your plugin. So if you open and close it, it'll take a screenshot, which is really awesome for example, plug data patches. If I load up plug data effects in here, and I load up, let's say, spec comp, it'll take a screenshot of spec comp in here, which is really nice. So you'll be able to see all of your plugins in here. And you see the flow of audio and the flow of MIDI. Now, what's also great is I can grab the same MIDI input from the channel, from the DAW channel, and input it into Snapheap as well. I could also pass it through from Serum to Snapheap if I wanted to, but Serum doesn't support normal like MIDI pass-through, so that doesn't work. My plug data patches do though, so you could use that. Yeah, it looks very similar to Patcher, right? So I can now use Snapheap in here, and as an example, I could bring in a LFO, and I can trigger this from MIDI. If I go to sync mode, it's no trigger, always trigger from mode on. Hello? Oh, I don't have MIDI connected yet. I can now connect that. I could load up maybe filter table with a PHP filter of mine, and then I'll just apply that over here. So we also automate the gain. And let's open up plug data and maybe add some compression. And then I'm using Serum with Snapheap together, which is pretty cool, right? Now I could go in and maybe use the sine wave. I can switch this to, let's go with harmonics mode and go higher. Let's go up to 6. And then I'm going to load up one of my wavetables. Let's go complex. And then I'll actually load this up in the spectral oscillator, because this is the entire reason for using Serum over Faceplant right now, is that I can use other sims as my oscillator. So let's lock the phases and the transients. Turn it up a little bit. And let's move it to manual. Automate the position. I'm actually wondering why the sub is gone on this. But I'm going to use the special mode right here, which is called, what was it? Robotize. And I'm going to add a sub, which you can't hear. Oh, we're really high up in pitch. Is it this? Or are we? Wait. Yeah, okay, nice. So done. I need to go to Snap Heap and actually create a parallel band. Yeah. Low pass this. And then high pass this guy. And I need to high pass this guy. So I'm going to go to filter. Actually, we can high pass it right here. There we go. And then maybe we'll use some RM from B. Or actually, we'll use some RM from sub oscillator. Maybe we'll use some, let's do some detune. And then with the detune, we'll use some robotize as well. And then we can go back to our filter. So we get some crazy sounds out of that, right? We get the Serum 2 spectral oscillator combined, and we're using that as the sound source to go into Snap Heap. Then we're going into plug data, and then maybe we'll add one more plug data effect. So I'll go ahead and load up Iris over here, my beloved, and then we'll add Snap Heap. Actually, we'll replace this. You can right-click and replace a node. We'll replace it with multipass, because in here I want to apply some limiting to the low end. And then I want to add a clipper and push the gain into it. Let's go back to plug data and increase this just a bit more. I want a bit more compression on this. Oh, that's very loud. Sorry about that. That's probably because of this one. Check. Did I push anything accidentally? I think so. So a little bit. Okay. And then lastly, I want to use a special delay called Timeless by FabFilter. I put it to clean mode, and I'm going to enable these two filters. And then I'm going to put this to, the delay time here is fine. I'm going to take down the feedback. I'm going to add some diffusion to this. and lower the mix. Lower this moving a little bit. Let's mess around with Iris. A little bit less than that. That sounds nice. Let's go to timeless and actually make it parallel, because I want to EQ it. Actually, we have an EQ in there already. But maybe I want to add a frequency shifter to that, right? So I'm going to grab another connection here, and now I'm going to make timeless parallel by turning up the mix 100%. And I'm going to go post, because we already have a filter in here. And I'm going to add a frequency shifter. We could use, for example, the built-in one from Neat. And in here we can go, which is the frequency shifter, pitch shift, frequency shift. That sounds nice. Let's turn down the entire volume. You can just turn down the volume by adjusting these guys. Let's go down. Sweet. So now we have a whole chain that we can now, right now it's a bit messy, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the organize button up here. I'm going to hit compact, and I'm going to hit organize. It's going to try and organize this all for me. You can see it's nicely in line, and maybe I'll move this guy down and this guy down. You also get a little spectrogram down here, which is nice. And then I can go ahead. Mess around with this. The high end is a little bit too aggressive for me, so I'm going to go to spec comp and lower that a little bit. Let's mess around. Maybe change the harmonic. Go too slow on the wavetable and it'll kind of break. That sounds quite nice. I think the echo is still a little bit too loud, so I'm going to lower that even further. Sweet. So now we have a patch. What I can do now is I can save this. So I can go over here and save mesh as. And this is already some of my other stuff. I'm going to call this Serum and Snap Heap BFF, right? And so now I could go and close Bitwig. I'm not going to close it. I'm just going to open FL Studio. I think FL Studio has mesh, already found mesh, I believe. Or maybe it'll detect it now. I'm not sure. More plugin, mesh. There it is. You guys can see FL, right? You can open up in here. Let's say I have a friend who's using FL Studio and they want to use, my plugin chain. So they can go in here, open mesh file. You're going to load up Serum and Snappy Best Friends Forever. And then there you go. I have the exact same chain. Let's go down an octave or two or three. And now everyone could use my patch. I could work on this. Oh. Click on that button right there. Maybe whoever's working on this wants a fifth harmonic and then saw wave plus a low pass filter on this, and then RM from B. We'll do that instead. Maybe 6. Sometimes there's some problem with like keyboard pass through, and I am actually getting a nano key 2, I think it's called, because I cannot be asked to deal with this anymore. But that's just sort of a regular VST plugin problem. Let's close this down a little bit. Change the detune. Turn this down to 4 maybe. Actually, I think there's a wavetable that is a low passed. I think it might be the saw around it. So we can just use that one. So if you go from here. Let's say we like that sound. I'm going to just save it again. So I press Control S to save the preset. You can also see that down here, we have a latency value. So it's saying 22.7 milliseconds. That is likely coming from multipass and specomp. Those two are adding some latency. I can now, again, close this patch in NFL, and let's say I'm back on Bitwig on the other computer. And I can just go ahead and open the preset. So I'm going to open up Serum and Snappy Best Friends Forever. And then, bam, there we go. Done. And that is, I think, very, very powerful, not only for collaborating, but for staying DAW agnostic, right? Is I can do everything in Mesh. I don't need to move somewhere else. And I think that's huge. Now, another thing is that Mesh has native modulators and it has native devices as well. So there's things called portals, which you can use to basically send audio signals from one Mesh instance to another, which is really neat if you wanted to do that. And your DAW, say, didn't support it directly. You have a convo over, you have a delay, and the delay is very special because it allows you to, and I can actually open up. It allows you to do feedback delay with VST plugins. So if I grabbed, let's go with new, and I grabbed Serum 2, and let's grab a frequency shifter, kilohertz one, for example, and we're just going to grab a delay. We can now just connect it through the delay, and then the delay will also go through the frequency shifter and back, and then we'll have to lower the volume for this. There we go. You get a continuous frequency shift. Pretty neat. You can do a lot of really, really fun stuff with that. There's other neat tools. The oscillator is pretty nice. I think the wave shaper was pretty good as well. There's a few other ones, and you can just use these if you want. You don't have to use them. You can just use third party as well, of course. But more importantly is these are all basically from the UI point of view. They're all just kind of like Ableton, where you don't have an external window. So if I wanted to use this EQ, I could just use this EQ. Right? Can switch it to maybe a, oh, there's no bandpass in here. I could replace it with, let's replace it with the filter as an example. Let's go with a, let's see what we got here. Nested comb plus. Let's go with the comb filter. We have what do we else? We have formant. Sweet. We got the nested phaser. So basically, you get a whole entire suite of effects directly in Mesh. If you had no third-party plugins, you could just use those as well if you'd want. But of course, the main focus was VST hosting. So whatever plugins that you want to use, you can use in here. And now to the modulators, which are really fun as well. So for example, if I wanted to modulate, let's say, a filter in Serum with a macro, I can apply a macro to this. Pretty easy stuff. And then I move the macro one here. I can add modulators on the top right here by hitting plus. And these are all the modulators at the moment that you can use in Mesh. So you have articulate, dice, envelope follower, envelope, group, LFO, macro, random, remap, and steps. I'm going to load up the LFO, and then I can just map this to the macro like this. And if I click on the LFO, I get an extra window. I think it's just 150 outright, right? So you can do a whole lot of stuff in here as well with just the LFOs. But more importantly, we can use the envelope follower in here to turn an audio signal into a modulator. So as an example, I'm going to grab another serum down here. And out of this one, I'm going to send out a sine wave. And then I'm going to go to this envelope follower. I'm going to hit this plus button over here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. I'm going to hit the plus button over here. I'm going to hit the plus button over here. And now if I go to the serum and I start pitching this down, so I'm going to go to just octave. Let's go even lower. So semitones all the way down as well. You can actually see the sine wave popping up over here. If I turn the release all the way down, you'll kind of see it. Turn up. You can see the sine wave there. Turn this up a little bit. There we go. And now what we could do is you can also switch it to audio if you want, but I'll just keep it on peak. I can now use this to modulate other things in plugins. So if I wanted to modulate the macro again, and we can switch this to a sine wave to prove that there's no clicks. So internally in Mesh, you're not getting any quantization of the modulations. And there are limitations if the plugin doesn't support like sample accurate modulations to begin with. But this is really clean. So I could switch this to, we already have it as a sine wave. If the modulation was quantized, like in a DAW, you would hear some steps or like some smoothing. So let's switch this from a sine wave to a triangle. Maybe a square, which would actually just result in a DC. Saw wave. It's all nice and clean. Yes, you could totally like AM something with itself this way as well, yes. So if we took this away, and actually we were modulating the the filter, so that actually doesn't do anything. Let's modulate the level here. Put this on the level. And let's, we already have that connected. Wait, this is macro one. There you go. Considering that it's completely smooth and I don't hear a lot of overtones, it might be a little smoothed. Actually, it only goes up to halfway point. No, it actually can't visualize it, that's why. Oh yeah. So this got me some ideas, right? Besides self-modulation, which you can do. One thing that I really liked was Massive's Performer. If any of you have used Massive, Massive had this Performer over here. So if you switch it from LFO to Performer, with some really fun shapes. So you could just randomize the upper curves and get some really fun modulations happening. This was kind of integral to like the 2014 kind of era of dubstep where a lot of the bass lines were based on these shapes. But what if I want to use, modern Serum? Well, with Mesh, it's pretty easy to set up, and it's all contained in one ecosystem. I have this preset called Massive Mods. So I have this the Serum patch. I'm going to remove the modulation here for now. And what I have here is an envelope follower, which is using the shapes from Massive to modulate my Serum macro. And the way I'm doing this is I'm creating this really high-pitched sine wave, which you cannot hear. So if I played this through here, I actually can hear it. And I'm really sorry that you can hear it. It's a very annoying tone. But basically what we're doing is we generate this really high sine wave that we can then later on filter out. But what we're doing is we're modulating the amplitude of that sine wave with this Performer. And then afterwards, I use a snap heap to do a wave shaper, like a rectify, which outputs the volume envelope of Massive. Is there any possibility to create a knob fader linked to the plugins like Patcher do? Or yeah, you can do that. So you can hit plus and load up macro over here. So you'll have a big macro dial to control things, or multiple things if you'd like. You can totally do that. So now that we have the volume envelope of the Performer kind of encoded into the audio waveform, we just apply a low-pass filter to get rid of it and rectify it before, and then we're getting a DC signal, which we then route into the envelope follower, and then we can just control anything with it, which is really, really awesome. So I could go into Massive here and just generate new upper curves. Let's make it a little bit faster. Let's go to 140. Set random again. Let's go to 8. I can still control the amount of release on this. So if I ever too fast, then you can't really hear the transients. Super fun. Then you can also use the morphing tool, so we can just randomize all curves and then kind of morph between them until we find something that actually sounds good. Most of the time, though, I'm not getting any good results from this. That's pretty cool. And this is, you know, kind of like an old school type bass. But if we wanted to, we could kind of move this away from this, and we could go with the spectral oscillator and go with let's go with one of the additive ones here. Switch it to manual, and then we'll put it to position. Phase lock and transient. Maybe we'll use some shifting on this. Or we'll use some detuning. Maybe we'll use some, what was it? Robotize? Oops, macro. Hello. Sometimes the macro still like moves up for some random reason. If you don't want it to be so crunchy, we can disable the phase locking. We need to disable the distortion on these because this isn't based on distortion anymore. Let's enable the second one because this is just giving us cool harmonics. So let's go over to complex and bring that in as well. Phase lock and transients. And switch this to manual. Where's the macro controlling this? Wait, this is modulated by something. Oh yeah, by this guy. Right. And we need to lower that. Where is oscillator C? Here. These are like... Let's switch this to robotize. If we just add some like timeless to this, it would sound pretty neat. So let's go. Default, no feedback. Some diffuse. Also, I think we could clean these up. I'm not sure why. Default clean, there we go. Maybe a little bit of that. Turn up the release. Oh, the harmonic was up on 8. Okay, that explains a lot. Switch it back to semitones. So we go back to massive and then start regenerating the upper curves. Let's lower the mix. So randomize it again. And then we'll just move this to be a shape like this. Now we can turn this one up. Actually, we don't need the wavetable here anymore, so let's remove that. And let's go 1, 2, and then maybe as well, I'm going to go in between here. I'm going to add a snap heap or multipass actually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a filter table with my beloved combs, fake unison. And then we're just going to modulate through this guy. Then try and sync it. Linear. And we could theoretically mix this in with the mix style, right? And then we could just macro the mix. And the macro right here, we can just add to the list of things to automate with the envelope. Cool. Let's make this all a little bit more consistent. So I'm going to grab a filter in here. And what I still really like about Serum is the the flanges, the negative comb with high and low pass built in. That sounds really good. Let's key track the Technically speaking, we have to go to 440 Hertz for it to be aligned, but we can sometimes, take some creative liberties. Let's put on the cutoff here. And then we can just continue generating upper curves. Or we can go in and just create our own, of course. Let's do like a ba 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 wah, ba 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 ba. Now it's like a ba 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 wah. Maybe add some attack to this one. Oh yeah. So you kind of get the idea, right? And then I could save this and send it to someone else who has all the plugins. Made some other cool presets. I think one is a bit of an older one. I think it was the filter table goodness right here. This one was pretty fun as well. This is just using a face plant, into a spec comp, into a band splitter, where I am using curve comp on only the highs, without oh, I have output gain. You can also bypass these. So if you go right click, mute, just adding some nice compression. Needs a soft clip right here and some reverb. You can also see on the top right, I think we're clipping a little bit because of the reverb, so if I disable that one. We can then zoom into this rolling sampler and we can select this stuff and drag it in as a sample if we wanted to. So if I go over here, and then we connect MIDI. So over here, and then we pitch this up. And there's different modes, I believe. There's if once you have something dragged, you can also tell it to go to sampler, convolver, wavetable, or library. Which library is pretty fun as well. So you have it saved to your library right here, and then you could load it, from there, which is pretty fun. So yeah, that's Mesh basically. You could just use it and get familiar with it. There's many new things coming as well to it in the coming months that'll just make it better. And I have been testing out one more thing that might be really fun to see, which is, I'm going to just demonstrate it in here because it's pretty easy to visualize. I have been working on a MIDI-based form and shifter, and I have an example patch in Faceplant. That's Omnisphere. That's not Faceplant. If I open up Faceplant, I have this preset called form and shifting. It might be this one, or it might be a different one. Form and shifter sampler, right? So what this does is it splits a signal into two, and it creates a overlap, like a grain out of each that is overlapped by 180 degrees or 90 degrees, something like that. So they constantly overlap and play over each other. If I mute one of them, you can actually hear it. Actually, it's hard to hear on that note. Maybe you can show it in sort of megascope, so you can see it in there. See if I can get this to work. You can kind of hear it, but it's not. Why is it not visible? Am I crazy? Will this patch break? Maybe you did, I'm not sure, but we'll see. So basically it's creating the form and shifter with the saw wave technique that a lot of people already know. It's basically negative sync, right? Negative and positive sync. But the way this one works is it takes different parts of the sample and creates two grains that are playing one after another constantly, and it's then form and shifting those, which is then structured after the harmonic series of the note being played. So we could actually switch this up for a bass sound as an example, or like a growl sound or whatever. Let's go over and load up. Unfortunately, we can't really. I mean, we could load a wavetable, but it wouldn't quite work, I think. Maybe it would. I'm not entirely sure. But let's see if we can load up like a bass pattern in here. Open one. Sure, this one. And here, and we'll have to line up the pitch. So we have to go really low. So it's not that one, it might be D7, let's see. D7, where are you? No, it's one of these. Anyways, I have a plucked out patch that does this automatically. So let me load it up because that makes it a whole lot easier. Let's say we have a wavetable, right? So we'll load up a wavetable here. Let's do, it's not too complex, it's too additive because I want to show it on really clean waveforms. I'm going to replace this with ProQ. ProQ4. So as an example, a regular form and shift would do this. Would get the discontinuities in our waveforms, and then would, you know, that'd not be a super fun time. So then what we use is, let's go with that one actually. Is we use this little plucked out patch that I'm going to be releasing hopefully soon. Right here. Which is the delay-based phase mod. So this is based on delay modulation or phase modulation. And all we have to do is connect the MIDI. And then it should work, I think. I hope. I don't know if it's broken. Let's see. Yay! We get completely clean form and shifting. You can set the overlap from 2x to 1x. So that would be your classic overlap or your classic sync with the windowing. But then if you do 2x, it works out. And then you have automatic pitch tracking, which I'm not sure if it's actually enabled at the moment. But this is really neat because it means we can grab something complex. Like, let's do some kind of complex wavetable. Modulate through it at a very slow hertz. Maybe a little bit faster. And we can do formant shifting on this. Let's set it to 1x overlap. Let's make it a little bit louder. It's a bit quiet. And let's also move less frames around. Maybe a different part. Put it to 2x again, because otherwise it doesn't reconstruct correctly. And it also works surprisingly well on bass loops. So if we play a bass loop in here, we're going to grab, where is it? Sampler. Let's just load one in. Sure. Let's go ahead. Let's have it on loop, because it's not looping. Of course it's not looping. It is not a frequency shifter, it's a formant shifter. And it's based on the fundamental that's being played. So I think if I enable auto pitch tracking, I should be able to like play any other note. See if it works. Oops, open this back up. So theoretically, I could unlink this. I could just play any piece of audio. Right now it's connected to medium, so I'm going to remove it. And then we're going to just drag something in. It's a bit fast. What's up? And it's not looping again. Okay, I need to like lock this in. There we go. And it's really, really high quality. Just not sure if the auto pitch tracking is working, and that's why I primarily recommend you use MIDI, because it's easier. So you can see how the stops and the sub stays, but all the other harmonics above it kind of move around. And this also works for instruments. So if we were to load in a like a guitar or something, like a single sample guitar, let's go with let's see if they have some. Let's actually load up I had this preset over here. Formant shifting. Yes. So now, that's the original pitch. When I also have this loop, because it can't be bothered. There we go. I'm sure why the lower octave doesn't quite work. What is this pitch? But you can kind of control the format of a single note sound as well in this. Let me load up a mallet, maybe. Well, let me use my own monophonic one-shot. One-shots. There we go. Where is it? Right here. So you can see it shifting the harmonics. And this is great as a post-effects thing, especially for basses, because it works so well with them. Like if I were to load up a growl sample as an example, it'll work really well with it. So if we go to growls, let's load something up. That one. Let's go to sample. Let's match the note. Where are we at? Around there, right? Now we can pitch shift it down. In really high quality. Like this kind of like pitching quality you usually wouldn't get from a pitching up is a little bit more difficult because you're getting interference and you're kind of interpolating the harmonics based on the harmonic structure. You can put it to 1x. But 2x. I may be able to extend this to like an even lower note. There's a super fun little thing, and you can technically build it in Faceplant directly. It's just so much of a hassle that it's annoying to do. But as an example, I have this. Where is it? What was it again? I keep losing it. Form and shift the sampler. So now we can delete the plug data patch right here. Delete. And let's replace the sample with the other one shot that I had here. Bam and bam. I think the range on this one is higher than the PD pit patch. We may have to go. There you go. We just have to match the actual note. So let's see. That's the fundamental here. I add a point there at 0. Supposed to be a fundamental. Bam, spot on. Sweet. So now what we can do is we can keep playing the same note, and I have this randomizer right here. So that's now adding random form and shifting to every note that I press. Let's add timers. Clean. The only problem again is that we don't get any time stretching control like in the Bitwig sampler. So it is not as good, but it does work. And theoretically, if we replace the sampler with 2 wavetables, it could work. The only problem, as you can see, is that it's quite a lot of tedious work that you can do, or you have to do. And that'd be much nicer if it was a monophonic patch that you can put it after. And you can with the plug data patch. So if we had a monophonic patch, like as an example, I think I have some cool ones in Serum. I have like this Skrillex scroll. See that MIDI is connected? Yep. Okay. Some really cool effects there. Or as an example, I had this like one bass sound. So that's the original pitch. You can hear how it's trying to, like, how the sub frequency is being preserved, but everything else is being pitched. So if you wanted to change the format of a bass sound after the fact and not like within the patch, you could do that with something like that, which is really neat. I also made like a super small little thing here with, was it this guy? Oh yeah, this was with Prism too, as an example. And this is D minor, I assume. I hope it's still in D minor. Maybe it's not. Yeah. Okay, nice. So that's without it. It's trying to keep it in K. Okay, push up an octave. So I could go in and like mess with the elements and stuff, and it will always continue to work. Obviously, I'm still refining the patch, but it's getting there. And then I had, was it the, there must be the OS one. Yeah, this is it. So I've made some, I forgot how this sounds. Yeah, I'm gonna mute the chord layer because that one's not quite working. So this is using the massive technique. This is just a performance from massive and then applying to the macro in Serum. Same goes for these guys. Same story. Using massive as the performer. And then using Serum as the actual synth. And then this one. Same story. Sweet. Oscar, did you ever get a workaround for the annoyance in not being able to pitch the warped audio in semitones? I have not. I have sort of just avoided those kinds of use cases, and so far I haven't had to use it too many times. But yeah, it is still a problem, unfortunately. And oftentimes I just switch to Elastic Pro for that reason, because it's kind of high quality enough to kind of get away with it. So yeah, I can kind of live without it to some degree. Oh yeah, the rounded C shape. So this one's really interesting. This is kind of like the Pullman's way of doing the form and shift. So what you do is basically when we do form and shifting, as an example, let's load up Formant. Go with that one. We can use the alt warp mode remap one, and we can just put this down to 0 and 0. And this will give us a negative sig. And I hope that at some point in the future, because it looks like they don't, I'm not sure, but I hope that Serum will have a feature to interpolate the samples when using this, because there's also some quantization happening here, unless it's doing it internally. But this is a bit of a problem. Anyways, what you can see is that at the corners of this waveform, the wave shape doesn't line up anymore, right? So in the beginning of this corner on the left of the waveform, it's all the way on the bottom there. But on the right, it's right around the middle. So what's happening here is this waveform, and we can look at this with a megascope. You can see there's a discontinuity right here. And that's causing the click, the sort of saw wave kind of thing that we're hearing. So what we can do is we can smoothen that out, right? And we can do this by using the sync. And if you use the sync, you get this window function right here, which you can use. So if we don't use it at all, we can use this and kind of fade it out like that. The problem with this one is that if you push it too far, you get like audible ring mod, like amplitude modulation. So what you can do instead is, this is really neat, because if you wanted to use a second warp mode, like if you wanted to use remap and something else, you would have to use sync in here. But what you could do instead is turn the level down of the oscillator and use oscillator C, turn the level down on that one as well, put the random of both to 0. And then in here, we're going to create our window shape. So the sync does something like this. Let's do 1 and 2. This is the sync window that the sync is doing. And I think it is kind of shaping it. If we take a look at this, for example, let's grab a sine wave. And let's do a bunch of sine waves here. So let's do 1 and a bunch. Actually, even more, so we can really see it. Let's actually do noise. There we go. Or let's actually just do a DC, so we can actually see it that way. Sweet. If we apply sync, it's applying a... Okay, this sync window is pretty good, though. That's pretty solid as well. Yeah. So it's applying a sync window like this, but you are using one of your warp modes, basically. So if you don't want to use one of your warp modes, what you can do instead is... you can turn on the level, and you can drag oscillator C over here to the level. So now you can see... I think you have to hit bipolar for this to work correctly. I think. 100% sure. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So now we get this Hun window. Actually, I think we might be able to do this. We put this to 2. Yeah, 2 and 2. We can simply do this, and then we should get, I believe, okay, we might have to like do this instead. Put this to 1 and 1. We have to edit the curve here. I think it's actually working correctly. There we go. Let's see if I put it to. Yeah, it's working correctly. Okay, nice. So this is our window shape that the sink would apply. Just ends on a random face over there. Okay. And then what we can do is we can draw this shape differently. So what we could do is we could add more segments. Let's do 4, for example, and then we add the same sine shapes again. And in the middle section, we create a straight line. So now we have this transition only happening at the corners. And if we check out the Oscillus megascope, you can see that here. Turn off the sink. You can see we're getting a transition around the corners. If we get rid of this, no transition. Up there. And then we bring this in. Now we're getting a transition around the corners, but this is still very aggressive. So what I do is I usually set it to 8 and then use this. So I do this, and then just this. And now we're getting a much shorter transition point. You could also go with like 12 as an example. So I could go 12, bam, and bam. But you can see now the saw wave is kind of popping back up over here in the spectrum. And that's why you kind of want to have a little bit of transitioning for these, for the form and shift. And now when we do a form and shift with the remap, it is pretty clean and still preserves some of the smooth partials, but you can see it's not perfect. Like this sine wave is pretty clean without any shifting. And then with the wavetable applied, they're getting some pretty strong sidebands here. So theoretically, if we did this, it does become a little bit cleaner. Or just different, really. The sidebands just kind of change. But the benefit of it is that it's now at least fairly clean. And shift it around, and you can use the same technique with the sync. You can switch it to sync. Use a little bit of it. You can kind of see how it's shaping the sidebands. Around there sounds pretty clean. Go back and put this on. And if you wanted to, I'm not sure how easy it is in Serum, but I think I did create a wavetable in Faceplant that does the same thing, that morphs between two shapes. So if I hit plus here as an example, I could go with a much broader one, like a 4-1. And then maybe we can do morph, crossfade, and then hopefully it does it. I'm not sure. Yeah, semi. And the thing is, with such like delicate waveforms like these, you can tell the the RM. But when it comes to more complex wavetables, especially if we move through them, it's pretty damn clean. Without it, it would sound like this. So if we go back here, can't control it anymore. No. So now you see the saw wave pop up. And then we bring it back down. It's nice and clean again. But let's say if we use, let's say, a spectral compressor like Specom, won't that bring those high frequencies back up? Technically, yes, but you're really removing the transition point with this windowing function. So there's not much to pull up, basically. But yes, if you were to put on Specom, some of it would kind of reappear, but it wouldn't be as dramatic as you might think it would be. As you can see right there, it's not really that dramatic. Push this up even further. If we had no windowing, so just this, that would be quite a bit worse. So what we could do is we could map this to like a macro 1, and then now this mixes between original and clean. On very noisy wavetables, you can't tell. But on anything that is a bit more delicate, like denoised, yeah, so that's formant shifting. And all they would really have to do is like just add negative sync. Like this is 1%, which this is a multiplier, I think. So if you go to 2, that's 2 times. And they just have to like sync from the center point rather than from the beginning. And then sync would become a lot more usable. Oh, thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. Oh, we're just doing formant shifting and so. And the last thing I want to go over that's been kind of fun to explore is Never Say Die released another compilation recently. Again, thanks for the donation. And Zomboy had a track on there that was really, really cool. I listened to it a ton. I think it's called Bromance is Dead or something. And it used to like an old school bro step snare in there. And I wanted to see if I was able to like reproduce or replicate it. So I had this old Synthesizer V project right here, which I'm actually also using to report a bug to Dreamtonics because there's a bug in there. And I created some drums, and especially the snare drum I tried to make it sound like those old bro step snares. And it's not easy, but it also kind of just comes down to like 2 components, which is a pretty big transient. So you want a fairly big transient, and then you want to use dispersion very carefully, and then you kind of get that snare sound. So I have this. Down as we fall. Oh, I still have the morph on there. Down as we fall, we go down, down, down. Lashes made of gold, we go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Lashes. Something's weird with the down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Lashes made of gold, we go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's how we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Lashes made of gold, we go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. sort of the drums. So this is the serum patch. You can kind of change the body of the snare drum. Piano is pretty good as well. And sort of the magic sauce on this, I believe there was 2 parts to this, is to not even fade in the body and let just the dispersion take care of that. So without the dispersion, it sounds like this. And then with it, it sort of just gets it right. And the kind of important thing is to have a really strong transient that is also fairly long. So the transient is I'm not sure how many milliseconds this would be, but usually around 10 milliseconds, 10 to 15 milliseconds, or 8 to 16, you could say. And then the body is kind of looks like this. And it's fairly short as well. You don't want the body to be too long. That's really all there is to it. You can see there's no like further compression or anything. I don't think so, at least. I could add compression, but I don't really needed it. Didn't really need it. The kick drum is again just a serum. Kind of same principles, same ideas. Specifically here, for these like kind of big bro step kicks, having a transient as well that very much kind of like bleeds into most of the body actually. Again, around 8 to 16 milliseconds with a fade, of course. Makes them sound pretty massive, rather than having them short and concise. You have them be pretty large because they kind of bleed into the body and make them sound pretty big. And that really helps them stick out.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just let it go. Take it down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's how we go.
I need to regenerate the vocal, but there's this bug. Go back here. There we go. Thank you.
Down, 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 down.
Let me check that these are merged. So I'll do merge groups. Actually, let's not do that. Let's just select both and do a re-render.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just let it go. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's how we go. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down.
So I was thinking of having a softer version for the intro and then a stronger version for this section. So we actually have to unmerge these, unlink these groups. So the intro one will be a little bit softer. And I wonder if it can have different modes for different parts. So let me try this. I'm going to go moody for this one. Yeah, okay, they can be different.
Down, 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 down.
See?
Down, down, down as we fall.
So frenetic, a little bit more vivid, a little less twangy, less power. Yeah. Yep.
Down, down, down as we fall.
Yeah, that's maybe a bit much. Still on the moody. That was a lot of it.
Down, down, down as we fall.
A bit less whisper, a little bit more power, a little bit less not nasal.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Ashes made of gold. We go down, claim your throne.
And then we'll try and like recalculate these.
Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall.
Again.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Ashes made of gold. We go down.
And then we'll go in here.
Down, 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 ashes made of gold, made of gold.
Let's go.
Down, 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 ashes made of gold, we go down. Claim your throne.
What I don't
Made
like
of gold, we go down.
is we go. I don't like how short that go is.
Made of gold, we go down.
We gonna do kind of.
Made of gold, we go down. Claim it.
So that G needs to be fairly short.
Made of gold, we go down. Claim it. Made of gold, we go down. Made of gold, we go down. Claim your throne. You're the
And then we're just gonna regenerate these guys.
made of gold, we go down. Claim it.
That again. We
Made of gold, we go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. Made of gold, we go down. Claim your throne. Down. Claim your throne.
Some of the timings here are a bit weird, so
Down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting the claim your throne.
can it also change? I don't think I can. Well, no, I can't change the actual syllable. I can change this. What does that do?
Claim your throne.
Oh, okay. Is that like velocity?
Claim your throne.
Oh, that's nice actually.
Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone.
We'll actually like extend this one a little bit,
Claim your throne. You're not fighting.
and then
Claim your throne. You're not fighting.
okay, let's do no snapping, and then we'll make it just a little bit longer.
Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
Then
Fighting this alone.
this one's just not clean, so we'll regenerate this one.
Fighting this alone. That's why we go down. Fighting this alone. That's why we fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down.
And then this one we can make it a little bit more aggressive. So we'll go vocal more attack, more flow, a bit less husky, a little bit less nasal, more power, more twangy, more vivid, less whisper, more frenetic, less moody.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, 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 down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim.
We kind of have to like adjust the same problems here. So
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim it.
it's still the same problems.
Gold. We go down. Gold. We go down.
We go, yeah.
Gold. We go down. gold, we go down.
So also stretch this out a little bit. So
Gold, we go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why. Down, down. Claim. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
and then we already stretched that one, but
Solo. That's why we.
too much.
Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we're in this solo.
Less.
In this solo. In this solo.
What happened there? Oh, oops.
In this solo. That's why we.
Was it like that?
In this solo. That's why. In this solo. That's why. In this solo. That's why.
Mine was like in between. Sounds to me like. But I kind of want to snap these. Let's go 1/8. Wait, with these in triplets. What the hell?
In this solo. That's why we go.
And then we're just gonna re-render these.
In this solo. That's in this solo. That's why. In this solo. That's why we go. Down, down, down as we fall.
Much better.
We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down.
And now we can actually like get into it and stuff. But yeah, this is supposed to be like a dubstep drop kind of thing. And I could imagine like actually love the little thing there that I did with the I wonder if I can kind of extrapolate the break a little bit. So I'm going to grab a multipass. I'm going to do some heavy compression on these. I think I'm just going to do upwards compression at that point. The thing is, there's too many like weird things coming through because of the way the macro break was made.
We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold.
Also, this really neat vocoder mode.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down,
Oh,
down.
that sounded really neat. And we can like change the morphing settings here if we want to.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone.
You can actually use NSilk, which is now, for anyone that doesn't know, NSilk, which is one of my plugged audio patches, which is now free and has just got an update just to make it a little bit cleaner. Is actually more usable for like morphing applications than the new Silk, because the new Silk compares overlapping frequencies. whereas the old NSYNC is a little bit more a little bit easier in its implementation, so it's more prone to leakage. So if we go here, we go synth V. Let's go mesh effects out.
That's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this up.
No, it's the same. I think it's literally just M-Morph being kind of goofy. Yeah. M-Morph is letting through a lot of the bass, even though it shouldn't. Let me try my... Just a second. I'm going to load up the... I had a patch that I made. Super simple patch. So the FFT vocoder, that's it. Okay, let's see if this one works. Synth V. Mesh effects out.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne.
Oh, you want to switch the phases, I guess. Let's do that real quick.
Down, down, down as we fall.
No. Ah, that doesn't... Why does it not do it?
Down, down, down as we fall.
I guess it's the same thing, like...
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down.
Interesting.
We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold.
They must be simplifying the vocoder.
Down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just down. We go down. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold. We go down. We go down. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, but it doesn't make sense because the vocal doesn't have any low end.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. That's just made of gold. We go down. We go down. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
But I love the sound, and I think starting off with that might not even be a bad idea. Let's try doing this from...
Down, down, down as we fall.
Am I doing something wrong?
Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down. Down, down, down as we fall.
Oh, see, this is the same thing. The morph is a bit weird, isn't it? It's including the low end, even though it shouldn't.
Down, down, down as we fall.
Unless it's like, because I'm at 50% ratio.
Down, down, down as we fall.
That could be why.
Down, down, down as we fall.
Let's see if we can...
Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall.
That doesn't work.
Down, down, down as we fall.
So the only thing I can think of is if we like added a pitch shifter. Good, that's pitch shifter.
Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall.
I still can't hear any of the. Can't hear any of the. Weird, weird. Yeah. It's because it's at a 50% ratio. So that's why. See if I put it here. Now it's the same. It's because we were in the in-betweens. We go down, 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 let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting us alone. That's where we go. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 let's just made of gold. That sounds really sick. It sounds really sick. Down, 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 let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. Then I had Silk, which is the new version that now replaces NSilk in terms of the pay tier for the elite tier on Patreon. Silk is really great for carving out resonance suppression because it actually uses a different algorithm than Silk. So it's if I delta this is what it's removing. You can hear it's very transparent. I can turn up this moving if I wanted to kind of cover more area. You can get a little crazy, so they pull down the amount. That's why I usually have some moving around here. It's pretty good. And then come out with a vocal. We go down, 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 let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 let's just made of gold. We go down. This is still the wrong note. Down, 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 made of gold, made of gold. We go. Which one is it? Yeah, it's the note. Okay. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Let's regenerate that one. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. Regenerate. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. A little bit better. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. Down, let's just made of gold. Let's regenerate all of these together. Down, let's just made of gold. And then maybe we'll like grab this guy and lower this. Down, let's just made of gold. Down, let's just made of gold. The M to be pronounced, made to be lower. Down, let's just made of gold. We go down, let's just made of gold. We go down, let's just made of gold. Down, let's just made of gold. We go down. And then we'll just generate one more time, so we'll have actually something in context.
down, let's just wait up gold. Oh, let's just wait up gold. Down, let's just wait up gold. Down, let's just wait up gold. Down, let's just wait up gold. We go down. Down, let's just wait up gold. Down, let's just wait up gold. We go down, let's just wait up gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
But I don't have a drop for this yet, unfortunately. But yeah, that would be kind of the idea. What would vocoder sound with silk on this vocal if you enable the delta? I kind of already showed that, but if we here can make this node maximum and then super wide, I can kind of cover the entire range. And then I'll turn on the smoothing and enable delta. And I mean, actually, if I increase the smoothing, it'll kind of cover more range. Sounds really nice.
Down, let's just wait up gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait up gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait up gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why down, down, down as we fall.
You take down the smoothing. It might be as well that I'm using a mesh effects out. So let me go to Nectar out, because I think this is actually before I even queued it. I'm not entirely sure. I think I queued it in here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. The reason why we're hearing a high pass on this is because the vocal is clean. So yeah, what we would want is like a lower octave version of this, which you can kind of achieve that with the smoothing. You can kind of bleed into the low end.
We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go
Yeah, it sounds really nice.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Weight of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait up gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait up gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait up gold. We go down.
But duplicate this bass and mute one of them.
Down, 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 down.
Can probably even increase the No, I can't increase the harmonics of this, but I could do a post. Add some. Oh, okay. Snappy already has it. Okay, nice. Not tracking to the offset. So then we have no tracking. That's an interesting sound. It's completely scuffed. It might work.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just
Maybe a bit much. Let me lower it a little bit.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne.
It's going through the clipper. That's why it's being like lowered quite a
Down,
bit.
down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go
Probably just keep it as is because it sounded really nice that way.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down.
Then we can add some release to this so it doesn't sound like doesn't cut out.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall.
Seems like Cirque is actually quite usable for this kind of effect. That's thanks to the smoothing, because the smoothing lets it kind of
Down, down, down as we fall.
dive into the low end.
Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall.
Hell
We
yeah.
go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne.
Good to know.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just
So we'll start out with that and have some nice strings in there.
down, down.
So I think I had one in here. And we'll like bring this outside of the group. We'll bring this in here. Oh, this is the old insult. Then we'll need like a curve comp on this. Make it just fat.
Down, let's just made of gold. We go down,
And we don't need the drums on
down,
this.
down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made
We also let's bring this guy out.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
Another thing I want to do. I'm going to take this violin and put it right here. I'm going to put the BPM to 75. And I'm going to bounce this. Because that way, I can change the speed of the glides. If we go back to Elastic Pro, and I have this. The only problem is the vibrato goes crazy. But The glides are nice.
You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down.
So I'll have to find some kind of middle ground, I think. So I'll go into the vibrato and like lower the rate of this significantly. And then we'll like put this to 100 and bounce it. Such a neat feature, actually. Let me, whoops. Control J, bounce again. Get the fade out over there, and we'll switch you to Elastic Pro, put you to back to 150. Yeah, much better. Let me check what the, this is E minor. Oh, okay, that wouldn't work.
You're not fighting this.
Let me add some curve comp on this.
Alone. That's why we go down.
And actually, I think it's a bit honky in the mids, so I'll try and see if maybe Silk can help out. I'll kind of open this up a little bit. A little bit less. It's less.
You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down.
And then before we bring in the drums, let's let it do its thing.
That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait up.
Place it here. Oops, nope. Place it here.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, let's just wait up gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone.
This over.
Down, down, down as we fall.
And I might do the same technique here, actually. I'm going to grab this. And I want these to be bigger, so I'm going to use the staccato. I'm going to go down to 100 BPM. I'm going to bounce this. And then we're going to switch this to Elastic Pro, go back to 150. And then we get this. That's still not fast enough for me. So let's go down to 75. That's half speed. Do that again. $150. And then we go here. And switch these back to spiccato.
We go down, 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 let's just wait up gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fine.
Let's group all of these. Grab some silk. I just fixed all the problems there. That's funny.
Let's just wait up gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. We go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just wait up gold.
Oh yeah, this works well. Let me duplicate this guy, and maybe we'll just have a continuous note.
Down, down, down as we fall.
Actually, I do like it when it's moving.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne.
Alright. This is sounding cool. Where's the back that up right here?
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's what you're not fighting.
So let's see if we can load up let's get rid of these guys. Group, always gotta be a little bit more efficient about the tools you use. Let's make this one +4. Let's load up chroma. Let's do E minor. Let's use the gate instead. Nice. Let's use heart effect.
You're not fighting this alone. That's what
And I assume this is doing a little bit more now.
we go. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down like she's made of gold.
And then for this guy, timeless, last time shift.
We go down, down, down like she's made of gold. We go down.
Much better.
Down, 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 down as we fall.
Let's try timeless on this as well, because I think this delay is a little bit too simple.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down like she's made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down like she's made of gold. Down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down like she's made of gold. We go down.
Faster, I think 1.8.
Down, down, down as we fall.
No, 1.4. The other great part about timeless when it comes to ping pong delays
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down,
is that you can set the width of this so you can make it more centered.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting the soul.
Left, right.
Down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down.
Why is one side louder though?
Down, down, down.
Like significantly quieter.
Down, 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 down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we.
I can't control the first one. That's the loudest. Why does it do that? Straight.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down.
Okay, we can kind of like control it like this.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone.
Theoretically, we can even pitch it, but then it's gonna get real weird if you do that.
down as we fall.
Let's not do that.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
Let's try -8. Let's open.
You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this.
Maybe even more aggressive. Let's go attack even higher. More flow, more glow, less husky, more power.
So long. That's why we go down, 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 down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
Yeah, it's a bit too much. A bit too much. Let's kind of dial this in a little bit. Let's overdid it a little bit.
Down, down, down as if.
In the glow, the flow one.
Down, down, down as we fall.
So add more power though.
Down, down, down as we fall.
More nasal.
Down, down, down as we fall.
Less nasal.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this up.
Oh, there's way too much delay on this.
Down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting. We go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're
Enable these guys. I'm gonna be so mad when my demo time runs out on this. Straight.
you're not fighting.
Okay, that's quicker. Yeah, nice.
You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's.
And I think I want these to kind of drop in volume a little bit. I'm gonna use silk for this as well, even though theoretically, like normal compression might even be better. But let's see. I'm gonna have a fairly broadband compression on this, and I'm gonna turn up the smoothing a little bit. Sidechain. Want this to be even, like. Yeah, like proper compression.
Down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we down, down, down as we fall.
It's nice and aggressive.
Down, down, down as we fall.
So if we can add a female vocal in there as well, we'll add a Haas in here. Yeah.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Like she's made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting.
And then we need to fix the.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go
Oh, that's Solaria actually.
down, down, down as
I was editing the wrong one all along. Wait, what? What am I hearing?
down, down, down.
That's Solaria?
Down, 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 down.
June?
Down, 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 down as we fall.
Down, down, down,
Okay, we loaded up the wrong one.
down, 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 down.
Whoa. What the fucking... Holy shit. 1 second. Loudness. Go back down, please.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 luscious me.
Where's the nectar? Here it is.
Down, 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 down as we fall.
Power, that's good. No whisper. Not sure what Samira does.
Down, down, down as we fall.
Thank you. Awaken. Little bit of that. A little bit of heartfelt. No vintage. Serious. Edge and vivid.
Down, down, down as we fall.
We go down,
Down,
down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone.
I think she needs a delay, I think.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 luscious made of gold. We go down.
Then let's go ahead and take all of this and one more take.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 luscious made of gold. We go
Slow.
down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 down as we fall. We go down, 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 down as we fall. We go down, 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 luscious made of gold. We go down,
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down,
Well, some like
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your down, down, down as we fall.
maybe we can use Nectar's stereo thingy. Probably has one. Let me save this real quick before it crashes.
down, down.
We have harmony, but I want like I guess
Down, down, down as we fall.
mainly pitch variation and time variation is more important than pitch.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down.
Gain pan. Yes. Gain same.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down,
That's good.
down, down, down as
But I want the voices
down,
only.
down, down as we fall.
Why are they so delayed?
Down, down, down as we
We
fall.
fall.
What are you doing?
Down, down, down as we fall.
Guess the time variation cannot be pushed too hard. Was this like a global parameter? I guess, yeah.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Let's just made of gold. We go down, claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go.
We can also try one more feature.
Down, down, down.
Let's disable the harmony thing.
Down, down, down.
This is gonna crunch my CPU, but we could use unison. And here,
Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down.
as like a whole 16. Oh god. It's rendering so many.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go
Yeah, it doesn't sound good because it's like not panning it or anything. More breathiness. Yes, I think there's actually... No, there's no... Yeah, this one doesn't have any breath parameter, but we have breathiness in here.
down, down, down as we fall.
Without
Down,
it,
down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall.
we'll turn that up a little bit and change the tension.
Down, down, down. Down, down, down as down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of
Well,
gold. We
whisper.
go down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious. Down, down, down as we fall.
Was Vivid do?
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down. Down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall. Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, 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 down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down, down, down.
And then I think we actually want the beat to be outside.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this up.
What if we put timeless in this?
Down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's what
Breath before singing. Oh yeah, I think you can actually add them in here. I forgot how to.
down, down.
Forgot how to add them. But there's a particular command or something.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go
So we can do. Wait,
down, down, down as we fall. We
I think it was like this or something, or was it a dot or H? One of
down,
the things.
down, down as we fall. We go down, down,
Something like that.
down, down, down as we fall. H, we go down.
Let me look it up real quick. Synth V2. BR. That's what you use. Brr. Use brr. You find it. Also, I'm soon gonna get my food, so I think that's actually where I might wrap up the stream as well, because I might do another one soon.
Down, down,
I didn't want to do a full-on production stream because I wanted to catch up on so many things that I've went over already on the stream.
down, down, down as
But yeah. So if we do BR, we get a breath, apparently.
down,
Which makes sense because it's BR stands for breath. Kind of.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down,
Yeah, there you go.
fall. We go down, down.
So let's do 1-8. And then we'll just do right here.
Fall. We go down, down, fall. We go down, fall. We go down, down, down. Luscious made of gold. We go down, down.
Good point, though. Oh, Mike. Hey. Yeesh. Okay, shit.
Down, down, down.
Well then. Again, this was a fun stream though. It seems like the Sundays are usually a little bit slower. So next time I'll consider either like a Friday or a Saturday. But for everyone that's been hanging out and watching me, it's been real fun again to just hang out. This was a bit of a slower, just chiller stream, but it was still fun. And other than that, I wish you all a great rest of your Sunday. And hopefully I'll see you around soon, and a little bit sooner than last time, because I might do more of these smaller streams versus like the big ones, because I have to have a lot of energy for the big ones, and I don't have that right now. But other than that, all of y'all have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you around. I'll just play this in the background while I fade out the stream.
Down, down, down as we fall. We
Actually, before I do that, I need to mute the vocal over here.
down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down,
Now I'll mute these guys, so we have some progression happening.
down, down, down as we fall.
And I'll lower you. Where are you? Lower you just a little bit.
Down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Lashes made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Lashes made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down, down, down. Lashes made of gold. We go down. Claim your throne. You're not fighting this alone. That's why we go down, down, down as we fall. We go down.